Hey guys, welcome to Frolics and Finds, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my plant called a laurel bay leaf plant. So for a lot of people, this is just a plant, but this is actually a spice that you can use in your cooking, especially in Asian cuisine. So I ordered mine from Amazon, and it was actually drop shipped directly from China in the spring of 2020. So you can just imagine the fear that I had when I received this. It was the height of COVID. But when it arrived, it was only very tiny, like half of this. So it really was just a clipping with, bare root in it. It didn't even have a new leaf growth coming off it. But after a year, this is how it is looking. And as you can see, it has formed some leaves. In fact, I have clipped some leaves out of this for my cooking. And this time it is ready for transplanting. So I am just going to transplant this to another pot because I intend to bring this inside to the sunroom during winter. So this is the pot that I use just because this is what I have. And I just put your ordinary potting soil from Walmart. I'm using the Miracle Grow. And it is ready to hang out outside for the rest of the season, the whole of the summer, into the fall until it's time for it to come back to the house again. So let us talk about how to plant this. As I mentioned, I planted this out of a clipping. So naturally, you can plant this through clippings. And then I also saw in the YouTube universe that there are actually seeds that you can buy to plant it. I don't know how it works. I don't have an experience, but seeds and clippings are the way to reproduce this. So laurel or bay leaf is actually a tropical plant. So it is grown in areas that have temperate temperatures. But I also have learned that Portuguese grew a lot of this. And in Portugal, they actually have winter that reaches as far down to about 50. So that's not really very cold, but that's not even tropical. But again, this is categorized as a tropical plant. And of course, tropical plants really loves the heat. But one thing that you should remember about tropical plants, especially this one that have thin leaves in it wants to get soaked, to absorb all the moisture, but it doesn't want to stay in the pot where it is constantly moist. So you really have to let it dry for, a couple of days. So inside the house, I water this once a week. And if it is, I touch with the finger method, well, I dip my finger in there. And if it's wet, I don't water it. I wait for it until it's really kind of dry. It is an evergreen, and a lot of people use this as hedges, especially in Portugal. And you can see this being used as hedges when you're in California. But for me, it would be a dream if I have a hedge full of bay laurel. It will be a total dream. But for me, right now, I'm just very happy to have this one plant. And I also saw one video that featured this plant that they have like trained it into like a spruce tree, like almost a Christmas tree. And again, what a dream that would be to have that kind of bay leaf just in your yard. I also learned that in Maryland, there's a YouTuber or a commenter she has this and she lives in Maryland. And she said that you actually can just plant this and it will survive as long as you don't put it in a place that is just so open that it will have some winter damage. So if you put this in the foundation of your house where it is sunny and then it is not open, then this will probably thrive. I am thinking of doing, but maybe not on this one because I do intend to keep this and I do intend to keep this alive as much as I can and as long as I can. So this is how it is looking right now. This is fall of 2021. This is actually the last weekend of October. And this is how it is looking. And I am getting ready to bring it inside the house. As you can see, it has produced so many leaves. There's one stem there that are just shooting upright. And that's very exciting for me. So Here's a good look at that. Well, that's that's a straggler, a weed. And as you can see, there's so many leaves even up from the base. This is the original trunk. And there's a lot of sort of shoots in there, like growth buds. And as you can see here, I'm just showing you how much leaves I got. And then also, this will be, you know, when I decide to replant this, I will be clipping, especially this one that is going up. What I'm going to do is to remove the leaves for my kitchen, for my cuisine, dry them, but I'm not going to cut them now. I'm going to let them play out. They said that when you're going to remove the leaves, there's just going to be new leaves that will replace them. So that's very good to hear. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to clip off the leaves coming from the stems and then wait for the new leaves that come out. So we will see what happens during the rest of the winter here inside the house. But this branch that are coming up, I will be cutting that as clippings to replant in the spring. So I'm very, very happy. In fact, I have been clipping off leaves from here when I cook. So I'm using fresh bay leaf on my cooking, and it's really been a joy. So I am really loving this, and I really want to keep this plant growing. So I'm not going to transplant the whole thing outside, but I will try to propagate that. So friends, let me show you how much leaves I have harvested from this one single plant. But before I proceed, I hope you will consider subscribing, and if you like this channel, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click that notification bell. Okay, let's take a look. So I have clipped off some leaves, which is probably enough for me to last through my winter cooking. And this will also help the plant kind of maintain itself during the winter time. It is good to have the leaves off so that it will not be burdened, you know, maintaining all those leaves. I do notice though that this plant, the bay leaf laurel plant, is a slow growing plant, but it is also a very low maintenance. So this is what I got, you know, it's not about saving. I know there's a lot of people that says, you know, some people would spend $30 to save 3 something cents of a tomato plant, but that's not really all about it. There is something about growing a plant, harvesting, and enjoying them and cooking them. So those people that just say that about tomatoes, they just don't get it. So thank you guys for spending your time with me. Here's the link of all the other garden videos in my channel and all the other stuff in my channel. Feel free to click, feel free to subscribe, like, and share the video to whoever you think is going to be using them. Bye.